You just close the ticket in under 15 minutes. Your manager is happy, your velocity looks great, and you have no real idea what the code you just shipped actually does. That's not a guess about you specifically. It's happening to almost every fresher who picked up a coding job in the last 3 years. Stay until the end, because there's a version of this that doesn't wreck you, and it takes about 10 seconds to start doing differently. Here's the pattern. You open a ticket, you don't fully understand the problem, so you paste it into an AI tool. It hands you something that runs. You move on. You tell yourself you'll go back and actually understand it later. You almost never do, because there's always another ticket. This isn't new, and it isn't really about AI. Around 370 CE, the philosopher Socrates told a story about a new technology that terrified him, writing. In it, an Egyptian king is offered writing as a gift, a way to preserve memory forever. He refuses it. He warns that people who lean on written marks instead of their own minds will stop practicing memory altogether. They'll gain the appearance of wisdom, he says, without ever earning the real thing. Socrates was talking about writing. He could have been talking about you, right now, pasting a stacked trace into a chat window. Here's why that old warning isn't just a philosopher being dramatic. Early this year, Anthropic ran an actual controlled study, not a survey, with 52 junior engineers learning a programming library none of them had used before. Half of them coded with AI assistants, half coded manually. Afterward, everyone took the same comprehension test. The AI-assisted group scored 50%. The manual group scored 67%. That's nearly 2 full-letter grades for doing what felt like the exact same job. And here's the part that should really worry you. The AI group wasn't even meaningfully faster. About 2 minutes on average, not a real difference. You're not trading understanding for speed. You're trading understanding for almost nothing. Now look at where the damage landed hardest. It wasn't in writing code. It was in debugging. Understanding what actually went wrong and why. That is exactly the skill you need to catch AI's mistakes before they ship. The tool is quietly disabling the one skill required to supervise the tool. Right now, the codebase is probably small enough that this doesn't show. But projects grow, and shortcuts compound same way debt does. In a few years, the system you're shipping into today will be many times bigger, full of decisions nobody fully understands anymore. Built by people who never had to explain their own code. When something breaks deep inside a system like that, there's no prompt that fixes it. Because nobody, including you, understands it well enough to know what actually broke. This is happening to almost everyone, not just you. AI tool use among developers jumped from 76% to 84% in a single year. And more than half of developers now use it every single day. It isn't a shortcut a few lazy freshers are taking, it's the default. And nobody upstream is measuring what you didn't learn, only what got shipped. From where your manager sits, tickets are closing faster. So the incentive to slow down and question any of it barely exists. Nobody upstream is being malicious about this. They're just measuring the thing that's easy to measure, which is speed, not the thing that's hard to measure, which is whether you'll be able to fix the system yourself 2 years from now. Now, to be fair, this isn't really a case against AI itself. The same research found something important. When engineers used AI to check their own reasoning instead of replacing it, when they made their own guess first, the comprehension damage mostly disappeared. Sometimes their reasoning even got better. The danger was never the tool. It's using it as a replacement for thinking instead of a check on your thinking. Some companies are already noticing. Engineering teams are starting to pair freshers with mentors whose specific job is reviewing the AI-generated code and asking for the why, not just the what, before anything ships. It's not everywhere yet, and it isn't a fix on its own. But it's a sign that the people closest to this problem already know something has to change. So here's what actually works. Starting with your very next ticket. First, before you open an AI tool, write down your own guess at the problem, even a bad guess. That single step is what preserved understanding in the research. Second, when AI hands you code, don't just accept it. Ask it to explain the why, not just the what, until you could rebuild it yourself. Third, pick one ticket a week and solve it completely without AI, start to finish, even if it takes 3 times as long. That friction is the only part of the job that was ever actually building your skill. You still have time to be the developer who understands the system, not just the one who can prompt around it. The freshers who build that habit now are the ones still needed when the shortcuts stop working. Guess first. Ask why. Let the tool check your thinking, not replace it. So be honest. When's the last time you actually understood a ticket before you shipped it?